Ladies and gentlemen, the Bantams are back to winning ways once more. The first win under Graham Alexander comes in the EFL trophy. We end our group stage matches with winning all three of them. One against Grimsby, one against Man City's under-21s, and now tonight an absolute mauling against what was, to be fair, a pretty young Barnsley side. If you do go on to enjoy today's video, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try to 80 likes on today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you're new as well. We are now on the road to 8,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so and it does massively help out. Get your thoughts in as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below your thoughts on today's 5-1 victory over Barnsley. Obviously both teams had already qualified. This game was pretty meaningless and I was really surprised to see how strong we did go. But before we get into our starting 11, I did actually already upload earlier today the 6 things that we learned from Saturday's defeat against Notts County. Make sure to go check that out if you haven't already. It's a bumper special, so please make sure to go over there, drop a like and a comment. All that stuff does massively help out. But when I saw the team news that came out, I actually forgot that it was a 7:30 kickoff. I thought it was 7:45, but I was really bewildered because we only had one central midfielder in the starting 11. We had 2 strikers, it looked like a back 5, and 2 wingers in there as well in terms of their natural position. So I was really confused, but looking at it now, it was very clear. It was Doyle in goal, a back 3 of Platt, Taylor and Kelly. Really surprised by that, if I'm honest with you, with Halliday and Richards as your wing-backs, Smallwood as the holding midfielder, with Adair and Chapman as the number 10s, and then you had Andy Cook and Tyler Smith both leading the line. So the same formation Mark Hughes tried to implement at the start of the campaign, slightly different to how we played on Saturday. This is maybe a little bit more conservative, but I thought it worked really well. And we had a really strong bench there with Lewis, Walker, Gilead, Stubbs, but then Oliver finally back in the matchday squad, his first competitive match of the season, Bobby Poynton and also Adam Wilson on there as well. I must admit, I thought defensively, I was a little bit concerned by that, but you look at the Barnsley team and it was very clear that they'd rotated a lot. There wasn't many first teamers in there, a lot of young players in their side, and we started out absolutely brilliantly. We were ahead after just 2 minutes. We had an early corner, it eventually got cleared to Harry Chapman. He swung it in on the left foot, a high looping ball, and Matty Platt was there at the back post. There was a little bit of a melee at the back post, a number of players coming together. I think Kieran Kelly was involved, a few Barnsley players there, but the goal goes down as Matty Platt's first for Bradford City, and then I don't think it was much later, Andy Cook find himself back on the score sheet. It's been a long time since he had scored a meaningful goal. You know, he'd scored a lot of goals so far this season, which in the end didn't really count for much. Tonight, though, his goal obviously did massively help out. 2-0 was the score. Adair picked up the ball deep in their half, played a nice through ball. Andy Cook let it run across his body, smashed it from around 18 yards. I don't know if it was just inside or just outside the penalty area. It went under the goalkeeper, and a great finish from Andy Cook, and hopefully now he can start finishing some chances, because I thought Cook, we'll get onto him later on in the video, but his overall play, again, he wasn't exactly amazing, if I'm honest. The third goal then came from a long ball from Ash Taylor. It was just kind of a clearance, really, but I think there was some sort of thinking behind it, because Tyler Smith obviously likes to run in behind, and he worked really hard to get the ball back, battled well with the Barnsley defender, turned him inside out, got onto that right foot and smashed it into the roof of the net. And you think 3-0 against young Barnsley side, the game is probably done. But we got into the second half, made it 4. Andy Cook was through on goal, tried to chip the keeper, his shot was saved, and it came to Lewis Richards. He had to put a tackle in, got inside the penalty area and smashed it in at the goalkeeper's near post for his first Bradford City goal. And our final goal of the game was some absolutely exceptional build-up play. I think Platt was involved, Halliday, the ball eventually found Richie Smallwood, he played it in behind, Halliday cut it back to around the penalty spot sort of area, Adair taps it in from 8 yards out, high into the roof, and then you think 5-0, whenever Bradford City scored 5 goals. It's just such a shame that we only really seem to perform in these sort of cup competitions, because pretty much everything else so far this season has been absolutely terrible, hasn't it? And you have got to factor in that Barnsley squad was a heavily rotated side, and they knew there was nothing really to play for. But they did, unfortunately, pull a goal back with an absolutely outstanding finish. I don't know off the top of my head who got the goal, but I think he should certainly be closed down better. The strike itself, I have absolutely no qualms with Colin Doyle. I certainly wouldn't expect him to say that. I think it was Barry Cotter with the goal, but the drama wasn't done there, as in the 94th minute, when the game's 5-1, definitely done, the Barnsley player stupidly decides to get himself sent off. I think a long ball got played, but then Oliver won at the flick on once he'd come on off the bench. Smith was in behind, and for some reason Jack Shepherd was just tugging on Tyler Smith's shirt. He didn't let go. The referee clearly saw it, sent him off, obviously last man. And it was really stupid, because the difference between 5-1 and 6-1 in a game like this meant absolutely nothing, apart from the fact he now can't play in the next round. But that was all the drama of the game. in terms of the statistics, it was actually quite an even game. We had 12 shots to their 13. We had 9 on target to their 6. We had 44% of the ball to their 56%. We attempted 342 passes. They attempted 435. We had a 57% pass accuracy. They had a 64% passing accuracy. We committed 15 fouls, accumulating 4 yellow cards, and they committed 12 fouls, accumulating 2 yellow cards. I'm sure at least half of them from both sides were probably between Richie Smallwood and Luca Connell. Not too sure what's going on there, but both them two absolutely hated each other. Obviously, they got the red card, we got none. There was 3 offsides for Bradford, 4 for Barnsley, and finally we had 2 corners and they had the 4. In terms of how our group finished then, we obviously topped the group with scoring 10 goals, conceding 2, with a positive 8 goal difference and 9 points. Barnsley in second with 6 points. Man City's under 21s in third with 2 points, and Grimsby at the bottom with 1 point, losing all of their matches. So I assume they must have drawn one and lost it on penalties. In terms of how every player got on, then we'll start out with at the starting 11. Colin Doyle made some really good saves in the game. I don't think you can really blame him for the goal. You know, I've been quite critical of Doyle's the way that I don't really know what the right word is to explain it, but the way that he's pushing Harry Lewis, I don't think because he's the goalkeeper coach, he's pushing him enough. But in the games that I've seen Doyle play so far this season, I actually think he has been quite good. Into the back 3 then, Matty Platt, obviously great for him to score his first Bradford City goal. Our defenders don't score enough normally, so it's great to see him find himself on the score sheet, and I thought his all-round play was pretty good, quite solid at the back, so absolutely no complaints from him. Ash Taylor I thought was fairly solid in the centre of the back 3, some nice interceptions, obviously maybe technically gets the assist as well for Tyler Smith's goal, and yeah, I thought overall was pretty solid. Kieran Kelly, you could argue, was maybe slightly at fault for the Barnsley goal. I think he gave the ball away somewhere around the halfway line, but apart from that, I thought overall had a good game, put some nice crosses into the box as well. In terms of the 2 wing backs, Brad Halliday, I thought again, up and down constantly, brilliant performance from Brad Halliday, and the more and more that I think about how Mark Hughes dropped that man at the start of the season for Daniel Igoke, he's just absolutely criminal. Lewis Richards, I thought had some good moments, some bad moments, obviously great for him to score his first Bradford City goal. We need more defenders chipping in with them, and I think obviously the goalkeeper should potentially do a lot better with it, with the ball coming towards him at his near post. But great for Richards, and hopefully he can build on that, because on Saturday, as we all know, it was absolutely awful. Richie Smallwood I thought was absolutely fantastic, probably my man of the match. He was everywhere in the 68-70 minutes or so that he was on the pitch, obviously playing in as a hard role, to be fair. I know it was, again, you've got to factor in that it's against a very rotated Barnsley side, but Smallwood absolutely ran that midfield. He was winning every first ball. If he somehow didn't win the first ball, he'd then go and win the second ball every time, and I thought it was a really, really good performance from our skipper. In terms of the 2 number 10s then, Clark Adore, I thought overall fairly ineffective in the game, but statistically has come away with it with a goal and an assist, and it was a great through ball for Andy Cook's goal, a well taken finish for his own. So I think his all-round play didn't really get involved all too much, but from a statistical point of view, he has had quite a good game. Same can be said about Harry Chapman, not involved all too much, but again comes away from it with an assist. And I actually didn't mind the way that we played. I don't mind that formation, playing wingers as more number 8s. I really did not mind that from Graham Alexander, and I'll be interested to see if that is the formation that we do go with on Saturday. Do we go back to the 4-4-2? Do we go to a 5-2-1-2 instead? I will be really interested. In terms of the 2 strikers then, Andy Cook, again, obviously scores a great goal, and it's, you know, great for him to get, I think, his 7th goal now in all competitions so far this season. Smith is only close behind him and 6 in all competitions, but obviously Cook's got 6 in the league, and Smith only has 1 in the league, I do believe. But absolutely brilliant for Andy Cook and Tyler Smith to both get on the score sheet. I thought Smith certainly worked really hard in the game. Cook, I don't think was certainly poor, but there were some times where he was slightly underhitting the passes, and yeah, a little bit of a frustrating night maybe for Andy Cook, but he got his goal, and that is all that really matters at the end of the day. In terms of the substitutions then, firstly, Gilead came on for Smallwood in the 67th minute, didn't really have much to do, played as that holding midfielder in a slightly different role for him, but I thought he did that pretty solidly. Jamie Walker came on for Harry Chapman at the same time, and I thought, again, didn't really affect the game all too much, but the stuff that he did, I thought he, you know, kept it tidy and all that sort of stuff. Bobby Poynton came on for Lewis Richards, and I think that meant Clark Adore went to left wing back. And again, Poynton impressed. I was quite content with Bobby Poynton's performance, had some nice footwork in there at times as well. Then in the 73rd minute, we saw Verdane Oliver come on for Andy Cook. Hopefully, now that Oliver is back fit and available, hopefully it's for the league as well, he does really push Andy Cook on to start scoring more goals and all that sort of stuff. But great for Cook to get his goal, great for Oliver as well to be back on the pitch. And the final sub came with just less than 10 minutes left on the clock as Clarkador came off for Adam Wilson, who again played at that left wing back role, and I thought overall did pretty well on that side. And obviously we spoke about all the goals, the red card. We're through to the next round of it. I think it's now called the Bristol Street Motors Trophy. It was recently rebranded as that, as the Northern Group F winners. So I think that means our next round tie will be at home, which is obviously brilliant to see. But fingers crossed now we can continue this form, take it through into the league for us, because we need some league form. You know, we're 6 points away from the relegation zone at the moment, having played a game more than the team currently in the relegation zone. I know the team just outside the relegation zone are on the same amount of games as us, but it doesn't look great when, well, the fact is right now, we are 6 points away from relegation, having played a game more. So really, really disappointing at this moment in time with how our league form has gone, but hopefully tonight was a turning point. And again, like I mentioned a few times, you've got to factor in it was a heavily rotated Barnsley side, and I wish them all the very best for the rest of the season. But brilliant to get through. Let me know down in the comment section down below, who do you want to get in the next round? I don't know specifically off the top of my head when the draw is, but I'm going to leave it there for today's video. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 80 likes, as I said at the start of today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you are new as well. We are now on the road to 8,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed. If you haven't already, with that post notification bell on, it's free to do so, and it does massively help out. Get your thoughts in as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below any plays that really stood out to you tonight. Do you think we should stick with this formation on Saturday as well? And who do you want in the next round of the EFL Trophy? Thank you all very much for watching. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you very soon for another one. Peace.